Here we have a new 2026 Cadillac Escalade ESV. Now this one comes in the sport trim level with 4-wheel drive, black raven paint, and then we have jet black leather interior. The powertrain consists of a 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V8 engine that's made into a 10-speed automatic transmission. This one also includes the Onyx package. But as we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with the LED signature lights. And I love the sport trim, the Onyx package, just the badging, the nice bold black grille. Just a great look on these Escalades. Now, as part of this package, down here, we do get gloss black 22-inch alloy wheels, power running boards, passive keyless entry on the front, and then to the door panel here, memory seat, and then we have one-touch up and down windows on all 4 doors, power folding side mirrors with blind spot monitors in them, and our power door lock controls are up here. There's a door handle. We get a 21-speaker AKG studio sound system, 4-wheel drive, drive modes, and then we have an electronic parking brake, trailer brake controller, hood release, power tilt telescoping steering wheel, and then here's our power driver's seat with 4-way power lumbar support. Now I want to give a huge thanks to Cadillac of Murfreesboro here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee for allowing me to review this ESV today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so sitting behind myself, pretty good space here. Knees aren't touching the back of the seat at all. Seat back pockets on both sides. Rear AC controls are here. 3-stage heated outboard seats, bottle holders, and then we have 2 USB-C ports, 2 HDMI ports, and a 3-prong household plug in there. Now with the entertainment system in the back, highly recommend it because it's really, I feel state of the art. You have the web browser, the HDMI ports you can link. You can even see the vehicle status through these screens. You have a real executive feel back here. But there's a look at the front. You can kind of see that 55-inch display there. Panoramic roof. That's what the sunshade looks like. Excuse me. And then you have a USB-C port and a bottle holder on either side there. But with the ESV, that's the 3rd row down. You can see there's a ton of space back there. And then the fuel fillers here, premium is recommended, but you don't have to put that in there. It's just for maximum horsepower output. You get 420 max horsepower when you do use premium fuel. And there's a look at the back end. We do get full LED tail lights. Love the integrated dual exhaust here. And then the trailer hitch is behind that cover. Spare tire. And then behind the 3rd row back here, you have a 3-prong household plug-in. You can power release the 2nd row or power fold the 3rd row up and down there. So you can see the difference between when the 2nd row and 3rd row is down compared to when they're up. You have top tethers on the back of all 5 of the seats to put your car seats in. And then you can hit this twice. Hit it once to fold flat, hit it twice to tumble, and then you can use this to move the seat forward and back. Your lower anchors for the car seats are right there. And then you can hit this button from the 3rd row to fold that seat down and then tumble it as well. So all that is one, you hit that button twice and you can fold it and then tumble it for easier access, and you don't have to go through the middle. So that's a nice feature to have. And then to the front passenger seat here, power adjustability with the 4-way power lumbar support there. Now we get these nice pockets on both sides. This one on the passenger side has a USB-C port and an HDMI input so that you can watch something on the screen here. And then your glove box, you hit a button on the screen and that gives you access there. But next, we're gonna take a quick look at the window sticker. You all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look at anything. But all of your standard features, and then our options over here. $119,439 is the sticker price. But as we come back around to the front, we're gonna take a quick look in the engine bay. But there's that 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. And then before we hop in the driver's seat, I'm just gonna show off the blinkers. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So leather wrap steering wheel here. There's the horn. We have the Super Cruise indicator there. Super Cruise sensor right back here. But let's go right into the infotainment system. So this top screen, you can see your vehicle status. So tire pressure monitors, oil life, air filter life, all of that. Or you have these separate sub menus you can go into. But it's always nice to use this animation. You can kind of see everything. Now you have wireless CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility here, AM, FM, XM radio with Bluetooth. A lot of different camera angles. So front camera, backup camera. Kind of have a tow camera as well if you're towing a boat behind you. Again, so many different ways to see around the vehicle. And then when you do that, down here you have access for your rear automatic braking and then your parking sensors if you want to adjust those. Settings are right here. So your vehicle settings include your team driver, rear seat reminder, buckle to drive, your Super Cruise lane change as well. Then if you scroll down to your system settings here, you can change your language and then your units of measurement right there. Ambient lighting, you can adjust that as well. Automatic park assist, the entertainment hub, which shows you the rear screens and that side screen there, the settings for that. Google Maps if you want to use that. And then there are the sources for the audio again. Now down here below, we have the climate control. So dual zone automatic climate controls for the front. We have the single zone in the back. So you can kind of see as you adjust that what the different settings are. You can set the auto mode, adjust temperature for either side. And then you can adjust the fan direction here, clicking or pressing and unpressing all of that, front and rear. I like the animations as well. And then for those heated cooled seats, you can just go in here and use the buttons on the screens there. You also have a heated steering wheel button there, but you have one on the steering wheel as well, and I'll show you that after a while. Universal garage door transmitters, the heads-up display adjustments, the power steps, all that can be fooled with there. You have electronic child safety locks and a power window lockout as well, so you can turn those on or off electronically. And then you hit this park button and you can see kind of an animation, top-down view of the vehicle, the park assist camera, rear automatic braking, and then the auto park assist there. Your headlamps are in the screen here, but you can set those to auto or turn the headlight reminder on. But I usually keep mine in auto. You probably won't need to ever use these. Even when it's raining, it tends to detect that. But if you ever do, if you have the climate controls right here, it's just hit the light bulb, turn the lights on. It's that simple. And then there's a shortcut button for the camera as well. So that'll pull that up without having to go through the screen. They have a USB-C port on either side there, wireless charging pad, bottle holders, and then if for whatever reason you don't want to use a touch screen, you can use this knob and these shortcuts right here to go through the screen there. And your volume knob is here. You can click that to mute and adjust the volume. Hazards, automatic brake hold, auto stop toggle. This button I really like because it just cuts the AC on or off. If you're having trouble, you just want to have everything off, there's an actual button there. Your center console cubby space has a USB-C, USB-A duo there, removable tray. There's a 12 volt. And then up here you have the rear camera mirror. Turn that on or off there. OnStar. This is for your sunshade. You can tilt or slide the roof there. So we're gonna do a one-touch slide. It goes all the way behind that second row glass. You can shut it, one touch as well. But there's a look at the back seat from up here. And then you have your motion sensor, you can toggle there. You have your lift gate, you can set to max or 3/4, and then you can fold the third row up or down from up here as well. And there is the vanity mirror. And one other thing before I forget, this right here is an interior camera. So with a future update, you can actually go in here and record the inside. If someone breaks in or whatever, you can kind of see, you know, you have that, it's almost like the Sentry camera for Tesla, but for the inside. So it's nice to have that. But left side stock behind the steering wheel, blinkers, fluid for the wipers. You have auto sense on the front, then your rear wipers here, then your fluid for the back. And then for the shifter, hit the brake, pull, neutral, reverse, drive. Then you have a low gear or a low mode there. And then you can press that and use the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel to adjust what gear you're being limited to through those 10 speeds. And then press in there for park. Cruise controls here, so you can turn it on or off. Hold that cancel button to go between adaptive or regular, or you can just cancel the cruise by pressing it. And then you can turn on the hands-free driving on or off there. There's that heated steering wheel button, and then this is the gap adjust for the forward collision alert and the adaptive cruise there. Set that speed for whatever right there. Hit this button, goes to your audio sources. When applicable, this is a scroll bar that you can use. And if for whatever reason it is not on, let's just say it's sitting like that, you can just start scrolling through your gauge faces there. You can change those. And then Bluetooth, again, volume, track list, radio station favorites are there, mute. And then you do have the heads-up display right there. And again, it's not flashing like that, that's just my camera. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 Cadillac Escalade ESV Sport out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Escalade ESV Sport, I like how these ride. They are very smooth to drive, very capable at the same time. The tow capacity on these is pretty good for this kind of SUV. It's, you know, it's just a lot of vehicle for the money, I think. Now this 6.2 V8 has quite a bit of power, very strong. The 10-speed is pretty durable with this engine. Gets up to speed very nicely. It's, you know, it does what it's supposed to do with this setup. But I'm gonna put it into the sport mode. Here we go. I'm gonna try to give it a better pull as I get on the interstate here. Here we go. So again, a very strong motor there. But I want to give one more huge thanks to Cadillac of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this vehicle today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But ride quality is good. You do get the magnetic ride control, which is great. Just makes for a smoother ride down the interstate in general. But I love having the augmented reality camera. It's just nice to see everything right there, particularly when it gets darker out. But it's just cool to see that HD picture there. Now, in terms of what you get for the money, it's $120,000, so it's not the most practical decision. You're getting 14 miles per gallon city, 18 highway. If you have money, this is a good way to go. Very luxurious, the looks are great, the interior is nice, all the amenities are top notch. But it is expensive. But when you start comparing this to, let's say, a base model Expedition, you know, it's only about twice as much. And that's a lot of money, but in a base model Expedition, you don't get cooled seats, you don't have the opulence of having an Escalade, all of this new tech. So all that kind of adds up. So depending on what you're wanting to pay for a vehicle, I feel like that's what dictates whether you get one of these or not. I don't think there's anybody on the planet who's gonna get one. Like, if you were to get one for free, you wouldn't rather have an Expedition. A base model Expedition, let me just put it that way. I don't see anybody rather having a base model 3-row SUV than an Escalade. So you're paying for what you want, essentially. Now, some people use these for business. If they wanted to start a chauffeur company or whatever, this is also a good way to do that. Relatively inexpensive to fix compared to the German brands, I think, especially because there are a lot more people that work on these than a lot of these other luxury brands that are foreign. Now, with that being said, parts can get expensive with these, but with most vehicles, I try when possible to get aftermarket parts because they usually tend to last a bit better for me. And they're definitely cheaper to find, easier to get a hold of. If you want to get warranty stuff done, you don't have to go through the dealer and jump through all these hoops. But I think a great SUV, if you want something that's an Escalade, if you want to pay Escalade money for an Escalade, that's what you get here. Rides great, looks great. Again, you have all the luxury amenities you could think of. Just nice. Very, very nice. But all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 Cadillac Escalade ESV Sport.